Good morning everybody. Oh dear me. We've got the kindergarten just over there. You can just see a red splodge there. And she went over, she did a pee. And then Lassie had to go, and then Lassie, which was over there, had to come all the way over here to pee on top of Liz's pee. That's a funny dominant thing that Lassie always does. It's really quite funny, really. Lizzie does a pee and then Lassie goes over and does another one on top. Anyway, well, well, despite being exhausted and tired, we actually had a pretty decent sleep, to be honest, last night once we got off. Even the watch is relatively happy. 52%, which is not that bad for me. Boosted by lighter training, so because we didn't do very much yesterday. Oh dear. Sleep 47. 7 hours. Poor recovery. Your high stress levels yesterday prevented you from recovering fully while you slept. Try to take it easy today. It wasn't really very stressful yesterday. I just went into Dave's down in the gorge outdoors, and I suppose it was stressful seeing him and buying something and paying some money, I suppose. I was able to get a little bit of a forecast last night, and I think we've maybe got rain coming in maybe about 11 o'clock, so it's just gone 9. So, oh God, I don't know how these other YouTubers and adventurers and such like get going at dawn and get sunrise photos. I think I'd struggle to get a sunrise photo in the middle of winter, to be fair. Oh, I'll leave all that to them. Everything's quite wet around here now, which is not really unsurprising. All right, so we've got this. We've got the jet boil. Lizzie come back in a minute. I think she's found some food over there to put down for Lassie, and I don't think Lassie ate it. But I think Lizzie is tucking into it. Anyway, we really do need to try and shift a little today. I actually feel quite hungry. I should have had that meal last night, because in the end I had the crackers and the sweet biscuit things, and I've got cereal porridge for now. I will admit the car isn't very far away. It's probably about an ant 10-15 minutes. It's not far here, but we could go that way, and then, you know, we could turn it into an hour and a half to get back, which is probably what we'll do. But otherwise, because it'd be nice to get a walk as well. These YouTubers, they go out for 5 minutes from the car. They're probably an ant 5 minutes from the car, and then they go back and then they don't get any exercise either. They've just blown themselves off the mountain for some views. Whereas now look what now you see I'm criticising other YouTubers for doing, and I've gone and put my milk in there. Okay, well that's okay with them. Well then I'll put my porridge in there. Then it was you see, that's what happens, you see, that's karma. That literally is karma. Well, there's even I don't know if that's blue sky or just less grey cloud. I'm not quite sure. Alright, well if we're gonna put porridge in, then we'll get it hot. They've wandered. I don't know whether you can see. Is wandering around over there. But I got up here because this is a little hidden corner, a little hidden corner of cheddar. So I saw Dave, and then I left because he shuts at 4:30. So I left at 4:30 and headed up into the hills. Not straight away because I had to get back in the car and sort my stuff out. And then I got up here and I was wandering around. And it took a while to find here, to be honest, because I was looking, on the top a bit more, and I couldn't really find anything where I was thinking I could get this thing up as well, reasonably well. And then I saw these trees and I thought, well, that looks interesting. Let's just on the off chance go and have a look. And I find this tiny little flat area because it's cheddar, so it's quite gorgy. So we've got the kindergarten back again. So she wandered all around, and then she wandered over there, and then she sort of tried to figure out how to get over here. So she sort of wandered across the top. And I've got this blue towel that I put down, so she's on top of that. So that gives her a little bit of warmth and insulation. Plus, if she's got wet feet, keeps her wet feet off of me. My nose is a real pain. Mind you, I've just had porridge as well, and that always does the sinuses. I've actually got quite a nice bit of sun coming just through there. Okay. Well, I'm going to have this tea. I don't know where I'm going to put that tea bag at the minute. Well, we collected. It rained so much. We collected water. So we'll put that in there. We'll put the tea bag in there. It was a wet old night though. Okay, so after I put the camera down and I was able to breathe in some air, and luckily it wasn't raining. I'm not quite sure what I would have done if it had rained, but luckily the forecast was for rain to ease at about midnight, which is about where we were. Oh, stretch. And I started to put my head down, and then I thought, well, actually, I ought to film and talk about it. So then I filmed and spoke about it. And then, because it stopped raining, I was able to have the mesh part open. I really do need to try and use the aqueous spray. I just never remember to use it. But I, maybe it would help. Any doctors out there? Because the doctor did prescribe it for this. Well, I said I get congested and bunged up and what have you. And if I have milk or porridgey things, I sneeze uncontrollably or get bunged up afterwards. You know, I'm wondering if it's a bit of an allergy. But I like milk and porridge and it's not killing me. So, you know, I keep drinking it and eating it, but I do seem to react to it. Anyway, I got into bed. Well, I was already in bed, but I did everything up, and for about half an hour, I was outside. I was sodding out. Imagine Tom Cruise coughing and choking his way through Mission Impossible. Oh dear. Yeah, so I stayed on top. Well, basically, I kind of moved it to one side. And then my skin was directly touching this. And to be fair, even though it felt moist, it wasn't really wet. It was just like, I don't know whether it was like a cold moist feeling. But I mean, the top of the quilt is drier now, or it feels drier now than it did, you know, in the night or last night when it was raining. I think when there's rain on the top, it's like the moisture from the quilt can't quite, you know, or sleeping bag can't quite escape, and then you just get like a slightly damp feeling on the underside of the bivy and the top of the quilt. But in the quilt, you know, where I was, you know, until I put my leg out, until I got my leg out, it was warm and cozy and dry, very, very comfy. And when I was too warm and I put my legs out so they were touching the top of the bivy, it didn't feel too bad, to be honest. And I didn't have trousers or leggings on or anything because it's so mild. I mean, look, I've just got a t-shirt on. Normally I'd not be able to sit up in camp in the middle of October, you know, in just a t-shirt. Mind you, like I said, we're not exactly in, you know, we're not exactly in the Arctic, but it's still in the middle of October. And that helped cool me off. That kind of dampened my, because I think one of my problems last night, not only was my nose bunging up and making me hyperventilate a bit when I did it up completely, but I think I was getting a bit too warm as well. So then, like I said, I just put my, you know, I suppose that is one advantage of a quilt. You can get your leg out. Although, to be fair, I think if you had a sleeping bag, you might just have to, in a situation like this, get out of it and then try and put it like the length of you, so it's like not really covering you, but like quarter covering you, just so you've got a little bit of warmth from it, so you're not getting too cold. Cool off to your desired level, you know, and then obviously then just get back in it and hope that it's not too warm again. Because once This is a 0 centigrade quilt. And once I calmed down and settled down, before I fell asleep, I was pulling the whole thing. I was pulling the whole thing over me. So I don't really know why I was too warm, you know, last night. Anyway, we settled down. I must have fallen asleep by 1 o'clock. I don't know what time it was, but certainly by 1. And the next thing I knew, it was 7:30 this morning. And then I must have fallen asleep again not long after that. And then the next thing I knew, it was about 9 o'clock. That was a most welcome cup of tea. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to have one more tea, relax a minute, put a bit of power in the GoPro because it's starting to go down a bit. I just brought one power pack for this trip and one lead, and this lead is the USB-C type that will do this phone and obviously the GoPro, but obviously it won't do my Apple because I've got the 13, and it won't do my torch. Luckily I didn't need it to do my torch in the end, but to be fair, that might be something that I actually need to you know, consider something for charging a torch up. And of course, just as the forecast predicted, this is why maybe I should have got going. I get so cozy, that's the trouble. It's raining just as we were starting to pack up. So I think I've got my waterproofs on. But I've got Lizzie under the one dry-ish bit of the shelter there, and everything else around is getting, you know, quite wet, although it's all wrapped up, so there's nothing there that's delicate or anything. I think it's a bit of a passing shower. Hopefully it will ease off. It might even be easing off now, and then we'll get going. Now you've been very good though, haven't you? And of course my bed that was dry is now wet on the outside, so that's good. that's a bonus. That's a Brucey bonus. And of course Lass is ready to go. You'd think it would be like quick and simple and easy to put all that away, but it still seems like a lot. I really don't like packing up. And then it's even worse when it just has to rain at that moment when you want to start packing. But it's kind of, I think it has to a degree stopped raining, so I think I'm gonna have to, it's about 20, it was only 20 past 10, it wasn't supposed to come in until 11. No, now Liz is settled down for Sleepy Bye-Bye Land. I think it stopped, so we're gonna have to try and roll this up. It's a bit unfortunate that there's a lot of mud in this area. Right through there, it's quite muddy. I don't know why it's so muddy. You know, in this bit, grass everywhere. I mean, obviously I know we've been standing on it, so that's not exactly helped, but okay, all right. Well, it does seem to have stopped raining now for the moment. So we'll put the walking poles there. Oh, I quite literally don't know where to start. Oh dear. All right, well, we obviously need you're going to need the pack. And I've got these straps which I wrap around that. That's my hat. So that's obviously got wet. Okay, I think basically we've just got to roll this. Rolly, rolly. Get them right wagons rolling. I'm actually even not old enough for that, but I still remember it or know it or whatever the expression is. So basically you're gonna have to move Lizzie, that's the tea and such like. I go in the pack for a minute. It's like Lizzie's thinking, where's my bed going? She's like literally thinking, where's my bed going? That's my bed, Dad. What are you doing to my bed? Or you're trying to help Daddy squash it down? No, I think you're trying to say that you want your bed, aren't you? Because I want to try and get it into into that stuff sack there. So I did get these. I got this from Amazon. I don't have any links below. Although if you want a link below for some straps, let me know. And it'll be interesting actually to see, you know, what it's like once it's home as well. Because then you've kind of got I mean, if this doesn't work, then obviously you can just pack it. Then obviously you can just pack it all separately anyway, but I might have to give it a wash or a rinse off this bivy this time, I think, because there's a bit of mud. Actually, as long as we can, that's not too bad actually. Even Paul Messner couldn't do any better than that. Not that I copied the idea from him, of course. So I thought, but I must admit it does kind of, you know, make sense occasionally. And to be fair, I've probably got this packed better now than when I came. Bizarrely enough, probably a better pack now than when I came out, marginally. I thought not a putty cat, a bit of sun. And of course you're probably supposed to do this thing up after you've tightened everything up, but that's fine, I mean, because it's it'll fit now anyway. Yeah. Oop. That's a big one. Wouldn't Daddy be proud? Lizzie, Daddy's being... Daddy's lost control of his sausage again. Lizzie, Daddy's being rude again. And then where'd the foam mat go that was in there? It's probably fallen to the bottom. Let's that didn't quite work, did it? Yeah. Dog's just waiting patiently. Right, and then that fits in there quite nicely. I've not used this pack for a while actually now. This is the old burn. The old MLD burn. Still going. Like I said, I tend to use, it's quite small, so you can't get, you can't get a huge amount in, but you can get enough in. Oh, that's that. That's that expedition meal. I didn't have that last night. That's my tea stuff. That can go down there. You see, this is why I like this little cup for this type of thing, because then when I got a little narrow spot, then it fits nicely. So Lassie can carry that. You can carry something, Lassie. Spoon and glasses. There's some that's my knee tablets and vitamins. I forgot those, doesn't matter. That can go there. So that's Liz's coat. Water, which goes on the outside. Liz's waterproof coat she wears. Water stuff. I think everything else there. Those bits that rubbish can go in Lass's pack. And that's a wrapper. So I think that's everything that needs to go in there. So in the end, we actually did quite well there. So all the bits of rubbish. This is another reason why it's handy having a dog pack, because then when you get all these little bits at the end, you can kind of chuck bits in there. And none of it's heavy, it's all, look, good Lizzie looking. It's all really light stuff. Right, I think the next thing to do is, actually I might not put her waterproof on, unless it rains. So we've got some water in there. We're not a million miles from the car. I'll probably even take off my waterproof trousers at some point, because I don't think they're going to be needed. Oh, I don't know, because like I said, there was this rain, and then there was another shower about 12 o'clock. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. All right, I think we need to get this tarp down now. So let's bring you, so we've got the tarp sort of tied up here, 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 over to that tree, one peg down there. Then there's two lines going to that tree, one line going over there. And then I brought this extra huge long piece of line that I didn't want to cut. Lassie, leave it. Lassie, no, stop it. In case it was needed. And you know, as it happens, you know, just like one line was enough, so I didn't want to cut it. And that's where we are. So I'm going to collapse this down, get this packed away, and then we'll be back. Well, here we are. End of another little trip. I don't know whether this will be 1 or 2 parts, probably 2 because I waffle so much. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button to all, and we'll see what we do next. I've got the Durston back from Chris Townsend now that my friend, other Chris, lent me. So I'm going to try and do some Durston comparisons with the Annan, and I'm hoping Ron's going to send me the Solo Mid XL. So we'll do comparisons with that. Maybe Chris Townsend's Scat 1. Henry has said that I can have a look at the Scat 1 Ultra that's doing the rounds, so we'll kind of see whether that happens or not. He has said that I can, but like I said, it's in other people's hands at the moment. But that would be a borrow. I wouldn't normally do a borrow, but I don't mind, maybe just once. Anyway, we'll see you all again soon. Thanks very much for watching.